this is Pastor Jen, and I'm at a place maybe you haven't seen me before. This is my front porch of my yard. And also, speaking of things you might not have seen before, this summer we're doing this really cool thing here at St. John. We're doing the Summer Faith series, and you saw the trailer last week about that. But we want to tell you a little bit more about what to expect. Our theme this year is the Circle of Life. There was a group of us that were sitting around talking about what we do here at church and what we do here in our life, and one of the things that came up was sometimes this feeling of disconnect of what our worship is and what our life is here in these doors, in this place, and our daily life that we live. And yet that's not what Jesus intended at all. And in fact, it's actually not true because it's all God's. So how could we see that God is so present in everything that we do? And we began to speak about maybe people could tell us how God is in everything in their life or in certain pieces of their life, and we could make that connection.
At that moment that when we were getting ready to leave, or to be more accurate, Ken was trying to drag me out the door because I didn't want to leave. She chose that moment to open her eyes, and it was at that moment that, you could just see God in her eyes.
So we invited some people to tell us how that works in their life, and it spans across all of life stages, from birth to the golden years, about how people came to be loved, how people were set free from judgment.
Because I've lived a lot of my life based upon people judging me because of who I am.
How people chose life instead of death, about how following Jesus over and over again gives meaning to their lives and makes sense out of the senseless and brings hope to the hopeless. These are great stories.
I was younger and in my 20s and early 30s. I was without children, and as I got older and had children, I realized that I needed to have a better foundation for them.
There's something that happens when we listen to other people talk about God in their lives.
God gives us more chances, more pitches.
It's amazing to me how you can listen to somebody who's completely different to you, but there are these threads about God that are the same in my faith story and in your faith story, and that is how God is working and present in our lives. And so as we listen to one another this summer and watch these videos, we'd like to continue the conversation. We'll be posting questions on Facebook. We'll be providing time and space in between worship for us all to gather together and to talk to one another about the stories that we've just heard. We'll have time to pray together, and all these things provide an opportunity for us to get to know one another a little bit better, but also to talk about the gift of faith that God has given each one of us to live out in all of life stages, everywhere and every way. I've seen these stories. You won't want to miss them. But in case you do, we're going to also post them on the website after the stories have been aired live in worship.
She is a poodle.
So thank you for joining us today, and I can't wait for you to hear these stories of faith.